Welcome back to week 3 of the Pokemon Trainer School League. My name is Wired Dragon, and a little bit of a special guest here. We've got joining me as my co-host Matt Y, coach of the Aviva Bombs. Matt, how are you doing today?
Hey yo, hello everybody. Hello, Wire Dragon. I'm feeling terrific today. How about you?
I'm doing great, and we're getting to a game here between the New Berlin Ruination and the Backyard Buzzwoles, and not only is this an important matchup for them as they're both looking to get to that second win, but I feel like there's a little bit of heart in here from us commentators as well, as we've seen both sides of these teams respectively.
That is true. And full disclosure, I did help Karate Man prep for this team. As you know, we are IOL friends. Our matches are over, so it's fair game for us to help each other out. And I don't know about you, but there are certainly some heavy hitters on the now list side that are scary for Karate Man. What are you thinking?
Man, there's so many Pokemon in each team that can really show up and end this game off. And I really want to start by looking at that New Berlin Ruination squad because Terra Captain switched this week to that Oricorio and Quake Laval, which would be interesting. But there are still other really powerful Pokemon that are still on this roster.
Absolutely. Just off the cuff, you're seeing a ton of great setup sweepers on the now list side. Um, we have the Quaquaval, of course, with the Moxie boosted Aqua Step. You got the Oricorio with the classic Quiver Dance, and both of them being the Terra Captains lives with tons of opportunities to just Terra defensively or offensively to get those boosts up and just avalanche all over the place.
Yeah, and speaking of Avalanche, we got a trade coming in from the Buzzwoles slide, picking up the Dragapult this week, I believe was this week's trade, correct?
That is true. He traded up Salamence to Dragapult and thus had to trade down Crocodile to Sandaconda. That Dragapult is a very high-ranked Pokemon in OU in general. It's just super fast, super hard-hitting, and it's going to be a key Pokemon here to make sure that he makes out of this match alive.
Iron Valley and Gyarados going to be those Terra captains for you, but trainers have been sitting in the room. I think we should pop right over, take a look at this battle scene, see what. Oh, I just showed my face cam. LMAO. This is scuffed. All right, popping over to the game right now. All right, everything's coming back together. We rushed in here from that Karate Man squad. We got that Sandaconda, Dragapult, Golden Go, Iron Valiant, Gyarados, and the Carkol fighting up against the Baxcalibur, Quaquaval, Revavroom. We got the Oricorio, the Sandy Shocks, and the God, I just want to say Jigglypuff. It's a Screamtail, though.
Yes. Some surprisers here for me. The Revavroom. I didn't think that he would Nowless would bring that. So it's going to be exciting to see what kinds of sets we're going to see. Like I said, tons of setup sweepers. You got the shift gear on Revavroom. But Karate Man has his own guys, and we're just going to get right into it.
Yeah, Sandaconda, Quaquaval here, the leads, looking relatively safe, a good position for the Quaquaval.
Yes, yes. We discussed this while we were talking prep in this match. It's just a very hard start for. Oh my goodness!
We
A
can
lot of
talk
stuff
about that.
happening
Whoa,
already.
whoa,
Okay,
whoa, whoa, whoa. We can
okay,
talk about
okay.
that.
I think there was inspiration from last night's match with the red card, and what a switch that was! Talk about some random luck.
Aqua Step hitting for a good chunk of the damage with the red card switching out into the Sandy Shocks, but the glare no longer affecting the Pokemon switch in as it is the electric type.
Holy cow! Well, Karate Man is definitely on the back step. Where can he go from here? I mean, it's kind of a toss-up between just sacking the Sandaconda and maybe going into the Gyarados, but even then, Sandy Shocks outspeeds Gyarados, so he's going to have to get creative to get out of this one.
Yeah, waiting for trainers to select their moves. The upside with that Gyarados too, obviously you probably wouldn't go for the electric move here, but the Gyarados switch in is probably committing a Terra, so we're gonna have to find either, yeah, like you said, the sack here or a good switch in, because this Shocks is gonna output some decent damage here.
Holy moly. Yeah, losing that free glare is such a hard loss, because looking at Nala's team, there so many fast mons, almost everything base 100 or easily gets a speed boost. Um, it's a tough one. I mean, My play is just to sack the Sandaconda and find some out somewhere else.
Yeah, Sendaconda not looking extremely good into this team comp as they we got a double switch here going to the Quick Wall and Golden Go respectively. Golden Go revealing its air balloon.
Air balloon, Golden Go. He decides to swap out the covert cloak. Doesn't need it for my salt cure anymore. Personally, a great play. Yeah, that's usually what they run for Great Tusk, but of course it works for Sandy Shocks as well. Switching into the Gyarados, great play by Karate Man. It does very well against Quaquaval. Let's see how he uses this pivot.
Yeah, Aqua Step doing the damage and revealing the life orb coming from that Quick Wall. Gyarados holding leftovers, healing up back a bit. Minus attack is putting this Quick Wall in a less than great position, but it's a Water v Water type, and they're both Terra Captains, so this turn is bound to be relatively interesting.
Yeah, seeing the life orb is big information. Quaquaval can run Choice Band because it gets that speed boost for free from the Aqua Step. It can do Choice Scarf, but again, not that favorable with the Aqua Step. I'm not that familiar with the typical sets on Quaquaval, but I would assume it's bulk up, and it is, as you can see right here. But he's too slow because of that Aqua Step. Still pretty favorable for Karate Man, if I were to say. Since the Gyarados is the Terra Captain, and Gyarados doesn't typically get great stab with that water, with that flying, I wouldn't be surprised if this was Terra Flying Terra Blast here.
Waiting for trainers to choose their decisions. Arguably a relatively strong Quavel, but like you say, without knowledge of the Terras, both these Terra captains sitting here may make for an explosive turn here if one of these trainers is not able to predict this turn correctly.
Very true. With the Quaquaval being taunted, it cannot get any stronger with that attack boost. It has to commit to something. I agree. This is a pretty pivotal turn. My play here, maybe you go back into the Golden Go, predicting a crazy close combat, just to swap back into the Gyarados for that additional Intimidate reduction. There's a lot of options here.
Yeah.
Maybe even Sandaconda for the sack into the free Gyarados again.
Yeah, the issue too is with the sack, the Moxie boost will trigger, right? So you really don't want this Quaquaval to get any more attack here. So it's kind of a rough position because you don't really want to stack anything, but you also want to try to get into a safe position to beat this Quaquaval, who is at that +1 defense and +1 speed.
This is a I mean, we've said it at least 3 times now. This is a very pivotal play, which is why they are taking so long to pick their turns. We are in no rush. Does he run the Dragon Dance on Gyarados? Because it's the Quaquaval is not showing that much damage. In fact, I didn't even talk about this. The Gyarados is showing leftovers. This may be a bulky setup set, and with that taunt, it might just be enough to squeak by the Quaquaval.
Yeah, maybe trying to go for its own setup moves. I believe it would have to go for 2 Dragon Dances to outspeed, but that +1 attack. Switching to the Dragapult here, Aqua Step going to the Dragapult, another 31%, getting another speed up, 10% taking off from that life orb.
Very interesting, very interesting. Dragapult, its signature job is being fast and strong, but is it fast enough? Does Dragapult outspeed a +2 Quaquaval? And it does. We see that right now. So this is super valuable information if he ever wants to bring that Dragapult back in. And he does exactly the play I thought about, the Intimidate back into Gyarados. Lots of back and forth here, lots of great information from both sides.
Well, and I'm wondering what that calc is, because to my knowledge, I'm pretty sure the Quaquaval would normally have to be a +2, maybe revealing a Scarf on that Dragapult?
Maybe revealing a Scarf on that Dragapult.
So that is going to be the fastest Pokemon in this game, pardoning 1 more speed boost from this Quaquaval. So at this point, you got to be wondering how the Quaquaval deals with this Gyarados, because we're in the same position as we were before, just at a -1 attack.
Very true, very true. And he thinks the same. He gets out of there with the Quaquaval, brings in the Baxcalibur. Honestly, curious what he thinks he can do with that Baxcalibur. I don't know if you would want to do a Dragon Dance. Well, we're going to see right here. Karate Man brings in the Carkol. Undoubtedly trying to maybe get up some Stealth Rocks, maybe even just getting some chip with the Rock Blast, but part of my knowledge, but I think Baxcalibur usually techs in Earthquake for these kinds of mons.
Yeah, but they might be running the risk here, right? The Gyarados, going into the Gyarados, it might be that this Pokemon. I'm not sure why you would bring into the Gyarados unless it had a really high attacking like item, something like a Life Orb, but we saw that earlier. So maybe he's showing the Choice Band, and if he predicted correctly, this Carkol gets to stay here for free.
True. I am pretty partial to choice band and choice specs in this league, specifically because you want to get in damage, get out, and the one item clause makes it so that those limiting items are put to good use. Maybe even a loaded dice on that backs to leave the choice items for other Pokemon. We see some switches on both sides. Screamtail into Golden Go. He must have predicted something. I hope he does make it rain. He does. Oh my goodness! Please. Holy cow, is that a bulky Screamtail?
Yeah, Screamtail known for its special defense, but I mean, even still, a Golden Go is going to do a lot of damage to that. Leftovers being revealed on that Screamtail as it switches out back into that Oricorio. Shadow Ball doing 43%, doing less with that special defense, special attack drop from the Maker Rain the turn before.
Yes. What I'm thinking is this is Nihilist's play to just go for the quiver. He has a great spot with the minus attack. Golden Go. The options here, I'm thinking he's Karate Man will be going back into that Dragapult, predicting the Quiver Dance. But we don't know what kind of set, if it's physical or special. If it's a special, it's going to have a tough time versus the Quiver Dance. And we see the Quiver Dance.
And the Terra committed here too, and the Terra Ghost. So this is going to be really good offensively into the Karate Man's roster. But now it's kind of at a position where it doesn't really want to be taking the damage from that Dragapult now, doing super effective damage. This Carkol does switch in, maybe trying to go for a rock type move in the following turn, but it's no longer going to be quad 4 effective against a now pure ghost type Oricorio.
Right, you are. Oricorio is a pretty rare pick. I do not know its base stats, but just off of looks, I would think it is not a very physically defensive mon. Wow. Karate Man opting for spikes instead of getting some chip damage. He might have some way to get past this with another mon, but this is some seriously risky plays. Now let's seeing the opportunity. There isn't much that this Carkol can do in front of it, just boosting past anything that might be on Karate Man's team.
Well, and you gotta imagine too that considering that we're going for a Quiver Dance set, this Oricorio is probably trying to end the game, but now with the idea that it might be a Scarf Dragapult, this Oricorio has to get buff as it goes for another Quiver Dance just to try to get up there. Rock Blast coming out. 9, 10, 9, 9.
Oh my goodness.
The 5-hit Carkol strikes
Oh my
again!
goodness. Holy cow. The love just never ends for Karate Man. Repeating the hilarious 5-hit against the Peking shoes a few weeks ago. Will it be enough to sway the tides? I don't know. Simply because, oh my goodness, it's a bulky Roostat. Holy guacamole.
Oh no! Okay, the crit only on 2, so a low roll finally for this Carkol as another Roost comes out. Will-O-Wisp coming out does get the burn because it is no longer a fire type.
True. Karate Man desperately looking for some way to get some damage in before this Carkol goes down.
Crit
Certainly.
number 2, by the way, for that Carkol Rock Blast as another Roost comes out.
My goodness. To be fair, this is not a matchup you will see very often, but
this is peak Pokemon right here.
I think maybe Nihilist is hoping for a miss. I know Rock Blast, I think, has a 95% accuracy. Oh, please, the double crit.
Almost a 5-hit crit.
This Carkol is doing work. It's really doing work.
To be fair, like, this Carkol hasn't demonstrated it can kill this Oricorio, right? Assuming we get a low roll as another 4-hit comes out with the burn, they could probably heal all the way back up and at least be at 50% while dealing with the rest of the team here. I'm hoping we saw the red card already. I'm hoping there's another option to survive a hit, maybe something like a Focus Sash on a later Pokemon.
Now let's finally opt for the Revelation Dance, but it's still at pretty low health. If Karate Man has something that can take one hit here, this might not be over.
Yeah, and a really cool, interesting fact about this Pokemon, how Terra and Revelation Dance work is it actually does change the type of move Revelation Dance is. So this is a ghost type Revelation Dance move here. Shadow Sneak comes out,
The
does
Shadow
kill
Sneak
that
back,
Oricorio.
holy moly. I was gonna say Karate Man lacking that priority, so in a very tough spot, but proving me wrong once again. Only one move. Apparently, that one move is Shadow Sneak.
Yeah, we haven't seen no booster energy here, so this Pokemon is holding a different item here, not taking advantage of its ability, but with its base stats, it doesn't really need it. So interested to see what Pokemon this is, as Nails is sitting here, going to switch back into that Sandy Shocks.
Hilarious. Karate Man talking some smack with the Carkol, his team mascot from now on, doing its work.
Oh man, this Pokemon has way overperformed, and it's always a joy to see out on the field.
Okay, so we are back into this match. It is 5v5. Karate Man arguably in a better position with those spikes up. Um, Bringing in the Sandy Shocks against the Iron Valiant tells me that Nowless thinks it can do something to it. Nice play by Karate Man. Nice play by Karate Man. Some info from earlier in the match. The Sandy Shock switched out on the Sandaconda last, if I did not, as long as I remember correctly. So maybe it's choiced or it doesn't have anything other than electric type moves.
There's also like small option where this Pokemon is built bulky and it actually just doesn't have a good roll into the Sandaconda where the Sandaconda can't just click the ground move back. But I'm not quite. I genuinely could not tell you the Sandy Rock Sandaconda rolls. Earth Power does come out killing that Sandaconda, so we are at a 5v4 advantage state for the Ruination, but there are 4 powerful Pokemon left in the back for Karate Man Squad.
Very true. Karate Man has the opportunity. Are there any sub sleeper here to really scare the Sandy Shocks? He goes into Gyarados, but like I said earlier, this is not going to outspeed the Sandy Shocks
I mean,
unless it's built bulky. So I'm curious to see where this interaction goes.
this is Terra signaling, right? Like this is the turn where you go, I am terroring, be afraid. And if this is ground, this could spike the game up.
True. Ground is a very good option here. I do believe Gyarados gets that Earthquake as well for that extra damage over Terra Blast. Yeah, this is something that, again, a very pivotal turn for both parties. Let's see how it pans out.
Scream Tail switches
Wow.
in, taking spikes damage. Ground is called. Earthquake will
It
kill the
is
Scream
the
Tail.
oh my goodness. Oh, so you are correct, 100%. Gyarados with the ground Terra, very, very good option just to completely flip its weaknesses and resistances. Um, where does it go from here? What kind of option? Well, to be fair, Nowless has some great options on the Switch, either Quaquaval or um, what's the name? Baxcalibur, and he does opt for the Quaquaval. Very, very good spot for it to just start hammering off the Aqua Steps. Dragapult is weakened. Even with the resist, it might just hammer through with those Aqua Steps. Let's see what happens. Oh, no.
Oh, one shot, one kill for that quick Quabble, +1 speed, +1 attack. Still taking that damage from that life orb. And I gotta imagine there's gonna be a Dragapult coming in, as we've seen that it outspeeds before.
We have seen that outspeeds. I remember it did somewhere in the 30% range against the Dragapult before, so it will live the Aqua Step if it so chooses to go for it. Again, we did see that it outsped even at the +2 speed on the Quaquaval. Let's see if Nowless remembers that and what kind of retaliation he will do if he does bring in that Dragapult.
Yeah, and I believe we've now seen 3 of the 4 moves on this Quaquaval in Aqua Step, Ice Spinner, and Bulk Up. So one last move that hasn't been seen, but with it outspeeding, and actually goes for the Valiant here.
The Valiant. I can't imagine anything other than a Focus Sash because Valiant is not known for its bulk. It's known for its hit like a truck and get out style. So curious to see where this goes.
The Shadow Sneak ever kills here? That was the first thing I thought of. Aqua Step comes out. Actually,
Wow!
doesn't kill!
Holy
Only
cow!
does 90% close combat comes out, finishing off the Quaquaval. And all of a sudden, there's a really good shot here coming from the Buzzwoles.
Yes, I was not expecting this survival from the Iron Valiant, but it sneaks by. Maybe some defense investment because it's so fast. The Revavroom outspeeds the Iron Valiant. That surprises me as well. I don't think Revavroom is known for his speed. That indicates a scarf to me, and I think Karate Man sees that as well, brings in the resist. What kind of things can we do? I'm maybe expecting a nasty plot here.
Yeah, Golden Go notated that it used 2 different moves before, so we know it's not choice or anything. This nasty plot looks relatively free unless this car can do something, but Ironhead comes out. We're going for the flinches. Oh,
going
baby.
for the flinches. Let's see this.
Okay, only
There's
one flinch.
There's the nasty plot. One move unrevealed on the Karate Man.
Oh
my goodness.
Flinch.
Don't do this.
Come
Please
on.
recover. Please get the recovery.
Okay,
Thank
recover
you.
does come out. Okay. Oh, we were in for
Oh, the Poke Gods did have some mercy.
Crit?
Get the crit.
No way!
No way. Shenanigans.
Okay, recover comes out again. Okay, we're playing
the odds are in Karate Man's favor, but is it making it interesting?
Surely this Golden Go gets the move
just
up.
Please, just finish it out.
All right. Shadow Ball comes in, gets the kill, and now we're in. I mean, +2 Golden Go. That's one of the best spots you could be in.
We are in the late game for sure. The Bax comes out. The Revavroom seemed to have been the scarfed one, so only thing I'm pretty sure Bax base is slower than Golden Go. I think it's like 80 to 84 speed. So maybe just praying against. Oh my goodness! It is faster.
Earthquake
What
comes
is
out.
going?
Only the
I am
dragon
gonna.
left.
I am very interested to talk to Nihilus what these sets are if he's willing to reveal them. So let's see where this goes with Dragapult, the only one left.
Switching back into that Sandy Shocks. This is probably a sack outlet. It only takes 43%, showing the assault vest on that Sandy Shocks. And now the Sandy Shocks gets to hit the revenge move.
Barring a crit, this is over. I mean, I think it might just be over because the Bax usually has the Ice Shard.
Yeah, we're out to see one last move, and there is a chance where if it doesn't have Ice Shard, this can crit Draco and still kill.
Draco.
But we have to see if the Ice Shard comes. Last move, 1v1. Ice Shard takes it. A 1-0 win coming for that new Berlin Ruination. Barely squeaking it out. An incredibly close match.
The closest match thus far in this tournament. What a slog fest. Great plays from both players. Wow. Oh, and they do decide both to show their team, so I'm excited to see what these sets are.
Yeah, as always, we don't go into that too much here, but I can't imagine. We kind of figured most of them out as we were going through that draft. Maybe a little of a speed tier difference on that Excalibur, but I mean, there were so many crucial turns that could have won the game for either trainer, and they played those turns out so perfectly to get the best chances they could to try to finish that game off strong. There are so many good plays in that game. I can't even pick one to even begin to focus on as the pivotal turn.
Yeah, I mean both players really bringing their all. There were a couple of turns with those Gyarados stands off with the Quaquaval, with the I think it was the Screamtail, the Carkol holding its all against the Oricorio. There were some true dream matchups in this match. The Revavroom getting 5 flinches or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, this was an absolutely wild and unhinged one, which I think was great for you and I on commentary.
Yes. Looking now, by the way, both the Bax and the Golden Go having max speed positive nature. So I guess the Bax does have a faster base speed, and it decided this match. I think if it didn't outspeed the Golden Go, this could have easily swayed in Karate Man's favor.
I mean, well, it comes down to team building. You love to see it. Thank you all for joining us today. This was our 4th game of the week. Our last game is going to be tomorrow. It's going to be between the Phoenix Phantoms and the Bone Club, so I hope you join us for that. And until next time, thank you all for watching. We'll see y'all later.
See ya.